Welcome to Trading Lounge and the European Indices for Wednesday, May 25. So look, I'm just shooting the breeze here on the bigger picture. This is a monthly chart here. And look, I think it seems all right as 1 and 2 and 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5 for third, fourth and fifth to make the fifth a 1 and then back for 2 here. One way of looking at it. We could put wave 4 here as well. The other thing that's a little bit sort of not quite right here. I mean, in a lot of stocks like Tesla and all that, we can really put wave 1 and 2 here, and that's why I'm kind of doing that in a way. But we never really got a nice 5-wave structure up here. We can count 5 waves to here as 1 and 2, and you can kind of see here as 1 and 2 and 3 and here and 4. So to put a 5th wave in here, we kind of got to jam it in at the last moment. And I wonder sometimes if that we're actually still in a wave 4 here, and we've just got an overlap here, you know. And we do have 3 waves down here. I mean, we could end up, you know, this whole move here could end up just as wave A here, a B wave, a C wave here, a D wave here, and an E wave here, and then have one more little high here, and that would be the end of it, you know, and we would put wave 4 over here for that, and then this wave 5 could go over to here. So that's a possibility that I'm sort of, you know, still mulling over. But I can see that, you know, stocks like Tesla and some other big tech stocks and banks, you know, I'm starting to label all them wave 1 and 2 as well in all of this. So I mean, even in this pattern here, we may not even, the other downside of this, of course, the other side to this is that we may get this move down here as an A wave and a B wave back up and then a C wave down here. I don't think it's going to be the case though, and then and then a move up at that point. So anyway, I think we're just going to play the hand that goes pretty much straight up, because what I'm sort of seeing is I'm seeing that the European markets and the Asian markets, and that's, I mean, I'm from Australia, but I'm also like considering the Nikkei and the Hang Seng and that as well. I'm figuring that all those markets have got their lows in here already, but the US markets they've been coming down. They've got like a little wave 4 to make and then a wave 5 to finish off here, and then they're finished, you know, then they move up from that point, but they've got a little rally and then a move down and then up. So some of them are lagging in this instance a little bit, but I do think that the European markets and the Asian markets can have their lows in, so we're playing them to the upside. So we're going to play these to the upside here as well. We're on the monthly, so let's just go to the weekly and start to break this down a little bit. So in this case, we look at wave 1 here, see how we've got wave 5 here compared to wave 1 here. It's kind of jamming it in a little bit, but we'll run with it. I mean, the thing really to understand is that this move here as an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave down here, or count however you want, it's corrective. So at some point in the future, we will be taking these tops out here. It's just how we get there. Do we go wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up here for 1, another wave 1 and back for 2, and then continue up? I mean, it's hard to think of a bull market in the current global environment and the state that it's in. But, you know, I've been in sort of unstable situations before, and it's hard to think outside the box or get your head outside the box to think everything's sort of rosy. But when these events clear themselves up, then, you know, the markets power off again because there's light and hope and whatnot, you know. But here, for this market, we can either have it up as 1 and 2 and 3, or we have it up as an A and a B and a C wave, just taking the top out here, and then we have another move down. But I don't have that move down coming. I do with the US markets, but I don't think I just can't see it coming down because they've held they're so stable, you know. So anyway, all we can do is track 5 waves up here. We can see the stochastics on the weekly chart turning up. I mean, obviously indicators are lagging, but, you know, they kind of help you swim between the flags and stay a bit safe, you know. So just on the daily chart here, I've got 2 counts here. So we've got, as I mentioned before, we've got the A wave, the B wave, and the C wave up here, or we can have wave 1 and 2 here. I won't know what the answer to that is just yet, but it does appear this little move up here we can count as an impulse wave, so we should be going higher at this point. Obviously the stochastics are here as well. When markets approach their old highs, the indicators tend to flatline, so you can really sort of keep an eye on the weekly more importantly, but Yeah, so that's sort of where we are. We'll just go and have a closer look at this. Halfway between 13 and 15, major level and medium level is 14, and we can see that it's really a nice balance point there. So if I was trading this long, the more support that I could see on 14 and then making small highs above the previous highs, they will all be triggers to you know, to start moving in on the long side. Where are we? 2Ks. Let's just go in and see what, I can't remember what I've done there, but okay, so just looking, let's just get a bit more data in here. So from the low B wave here, we can look at 5 waves going up for the C wave, like wave 1 and 2, and then going up for wave 3. And in wave 3, we'd be looking for 1 and 2. We could actually put this wave 1 here. I haven't actually sort of resolved that right just yet, but it don't matter too much because I can see that, I can see this pattern here. So this is a little bit late for that. So what we can do is I'll lift that up squarely. I'll just put that on top there, and that might be quite nice there as well, because if we take the last trend here, so from there to there, that still leaves us right in that 50-60% retracement level from that point. So let me just have a look at the structure here. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's 1 and 2. Yeah, look, we better be a little bit careful here, because I'm just looking, I always like to look at both sides. We could have one more little move here and then fail at that point. I don't think it's the case, because we're looking for the S&P to move up to 4,130. So I'll move that, and then I'll put that up there. And I mean, it's all right if we went long here, because we've got that last low at the beginning of the trend. We can do that, and we can manage the exposure a little bit, you know. But so on the 14,100, that would be at the 61.8% roughly. We can start looking for a classic trading levels pattern to the upside there. So if that's 14.1 here, we'll have the arrival, the reaction. That first high, that reference point is what you're looking for, and then you just let it do its dance and bring it down to the second high and just keep working until you get it. And you can scale in over here as well and keep building building that process. So from 100 to 200 here, there'll be 1, 2, 3, 30, which will be group 1, so you can go long on group 1, add on 150, there'll be profit taking at 180, and then you have another classic trading levels pattern here. That's if we're moving to the upside. So you can just continue to build in on all of that. I mean, I could look at this as an A wave, and not quite. I'll have to sort that out. I'll just have a look at the stock 50 while we're here on this stock 50. Yeah, so I've got the stock 50 the same 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but I'll need to lift it up a degree. But yeah, so from here I'll need to look at this as 1 and 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1 and 2. So still a little bit short there. Yeah, it's a bit of a funny old configuration here. So I think what we can do here, we want to sort of flip the weight of this to the upside. So what we'll do, the 61.8% is here. It's been, you know, it's hitting it a couple of times. We've got lower lows now, lower higher lows. So I think we could use the a classic trading levels pattern at this level here at the 3,700, right? So we put that across there. So it'll be a little bit like this here. You might get the arrival and just left with one spike up there, and that becomes sort of useless, but that's your reference point at that point. And then you would have, that's another little high here that's moved up. And then you get your second high here, so you could go long above that, but nothing eventuated. But if it does it the third time, lucky maybe. So yeah, look for that. You might be able to find a way in a little bit earlier. So today we're just really looking at the bigger picture of things. So with the FTSE as well, just sort of having shooting the breeze on this. This is a monthly chart, and I've got wave 4 here. So on some markets, this low here took out this low. So like on the S&P 500, I think it took out this low here. On the tech stocks, I don't think it did. So in some cases, you could count that up there as wave 1, and you could count it up here as wave 1 here as well. I could put this over here for that, but that's something I just need to sort of mull over a little bit further. But apart from that here, you can see that we've got a nice 5-wave structure. We've got kind of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. Yeah, they overlap a little bit and those sorts of things, but I think we need to just sort of suck that up because there's 5 waves there, you know. So I'd rather go with that. And then the sharp move that we've had down, Well, it's very typical of a wave 2, isn't it? I mean, even if we call this wave 1 here, it's very sharp for wave 2, isn't it? Sharp and swift, you know, and that's what they are. So, so if that is a 1 and 2, well, that means we've still got a long way to go up here, you know. I know it's hard to look forward in such, you know, higher prices in the world, you know, with inflation and money printing and polarizations in your own country and out of your own country, you know, they're all signs of crumbling empires in that regard, you know. But but we'll see, you know. I mean, the only thing that I could see, the worst thing that could happen here is we don't have 5 waves up here. We only have, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4 here. We have 5 here, and then we, you know, have a crash at that point. But we'll get to that when we get to that. But as far as I can see so far, this market has been the most buoyant out of all of them, you know. So this is a monthly chart here. Let's just go to the weekly and sort of break that down a little bit. Now I did this a fair while ago, so I need to lift all this up one degree of structure. So I need to put this wave 1 over here, but they're only pretty pictures, so it doesn't really matter at this point. The point is like I was trying to sort of got 1 and 2, like wave 2 is sideways and complicated, it's not swift and sharp, so that means that wave 4 can be simple. So that's sort of still mucking around with this at the moment, looking at that. So but you can see here that it wants to push up here. So looking at this as a 1 and 2 here and 1 and 2 here, I think we're going to be pushing up here, you know. And we've really got a nice support on the 7,000 now. So I think that we're just going to go and straight in and make sort of new highs here. So that's pretty exciting. So if we take it down into the daily chart here, now I'm back to this wave 1 here, which is fine. So while I'm here, I could just copy that and put that wave 5 there as well. And then I can I'm going for wave 1 there, and I'm going to put wave 2 here. So I'm just sort of correcting things up a little bit if we don't need that. And yeah, so this is what I've got okay for this, and then it does appear that we could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for here. So we could look at this moving up a little bit higher. It's also working on the hop here. I've done a lot of work, but I haven't done everything at this point. So we just plonk these in here. Let's just go in and have a look at what have we got this on. Just check. So I had this here on the 2000 tick chart. So this will be kind of interesting. So in a way, I can just grab this one here and we'll just look at this as 1 and 2. Now I'll go to the 100 ticks in a moment, but just sort of get this sort of image in your mind from the top here. We're looking at this as an A wave, a B wave and a C wave, and that looks quite good. We've got a nice B wave here. We've got a nice, you know, we've talked about this here being corrective, and we always said that we'd be making new highs here, so we're probably doing it now. One of the things that we could do here, which was, I'd probably do the same on the 100 tick chart, if I can just draw that across there. Now we've got the 7.5 here, and we can see that the market has wiggled its way across here and is now sort of sitting on here, but it will also play a part in this one here. So the time this video goes out, it will probably end up being coming in and doing something like this here. There'll be another sort of, it will basically find its way onto that support, you know what I mean? So then you can look to go long on that there. That's what I'm sort of thinking. So because that is the resistance, that's a pretty good resistance, isn't it, at this point here? We were looking at this on the 100 tick, so, but I was looking at it in a bearish mode, sort of coming down. I mean, that would have been the nice setup here. So we had that first high here. We had that high, didn't pan out. We had that high. We have to wait for that. Then we had that high. And then you can see how it just sits here. So even if you made a few mistakes in here, you could eventually get it over here, put the stop under here, and this is still trending to the upside. But what we want to do is bring in some more data here to bring in this top here, because we've been talking about this here being corrective here in this A wave, and in that last chart I just labeled this as wave 1 up here and wave 2 at this point. Could it be a bigger A wave and a B wave up here and then a C wave down? Possibly. So it's a place that I'm just going to put another B wave up here for a moment and then a C wave down here. It's not over just yet. So just to keep an eye on how far this goes, if we're looking at currently, we may change it of course, but currently we're looking at the S&P going to 4,100, which is about 150 points, so it's a fair way. So that will give this time to probably get up here somewhere, and you know, when it does make new highs up here, you know that it's going to I'll just put that right on the top there. So when it does eventually get up here, it's going to swing around a bit, isn't it? You know what I mean? It could do something like, you know, something like this here before spending time here before pushing up again. So we'll just need to keep an eye on a few things. But as far as this is going, it could be an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave up here for a B wave. That's what it could be. So we need to be a bit careful. But in the interim, I think that we do have support on 7,500 at this point. You know, it's had a good crack at it. You know, it's come up here, it's failed, and it's come down, and it's had another crack at it and another crack at it. So it really wants to push up. I can see that. So just take that on board. Yeah, so we're talking about the time that this video gets out. We're looking at a little classic trading levels pattern up here because we missed that one. But so I'm just going to put that up there, and it's really just the first high above the level that you kind of want to look at, you know, at that point. In terms of putting a stop, even if this went up here and pulled back again here, the stop would need to go under this one, because this is an impulse wave, so that shouldn't be breached again at that point. We still need to see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up. So the stop, wherever you go in, the stop can go under here for that. So I'll just plonk that there for that, and that will do that. And over to the dollar index. So yeah, we've just been observing the top, and we're looking for a wave 4 to come back into this, and we had a look at the bigger picture yesterday, so we don't need to do that today. But yes, you know, we're looking for an ABC. Now it's possible that that's the actual low in here. It just depends on how you want to count this here. So not that we're looking to trade this at all. So we might go a 4 and a 5th here, and then the ABC. But the thing is that it might just, we still need to come down for this. But the thing is that this may already be the low there as well for that. I just haven't had time to ponder it deeply, but because yeah, anyway, there's a couple of ways I can look at this move here. But basically, this is the pattern that we're looking for. And the euro will be the same as well. So with the euro, we're going, let's just bring this over here. Well, this is the wave 4, 1 lesser degree, so we could go, you know, back over to this one, but we're just looking for an ABC to the upside. The A waves are always sort of sharp and perky, you know, so that's looking, you know, it's doing its job. The B wave could be simple or it could be really complex, and then the C wave will be a little bit lazier, you know. So once again, it just depends on how you want to count this up here. We may have this 3, 4 to go here, and then the 5th wave here, then the ABC pattern here, and then up for the C wave up here, or we can have this, copy that could also be in there, and we start the ABC here now. So if this drops below the 38.2%, then you'll know that we're on our way at that point. So here, this could drop back to the 38.2%, and if it goes lower than that, then you know that we're in the ABC pattern at that point. Okay, so that's the lower end of, we're basically moved up into group 2 here, 65, 72 and 80 here. It's just the way I do it, but you know, going from 1 to 1.1, right? That's a major level, minor level, and sub levels in here. The Fibonacci sequence 1, 2, 3, 5, and 8. And then when we use 8, we use group 2, so 65 and 72. So it will really want to stay in there once a market gets into group 2. It really likes to stay in there, so it might all just travel sideways across here. So just keep an eye on that. But yeah, look, once this B wave is done, we'll trade wave C up there. Okay. Yeah, I'll leave it at that. Alrighty. Thanks for tuning in. Cheers.